time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. We are on the 5th day of covering cover versions of the song Solitaire. This will be the last day that we look at Solitaire, at least now for a while. We initially looked at the original version by Neil Sedaka, written by Neil Sedaka and Phil Cody on Monday. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we looked at cover versions of that song. Today is the last day that we're going to look at another cover version of the song Solitaire. Today we're going to look at the Carpenters. Now this is the version that I remember from when I listened to Neil Sedaka's version about 2 weeks ago. It hit me and it's like, who did that song? I know that song. And so I had to look it up and it was like, yeah, it was the Carpenters. That's who I remember doing this song. Well, the Carpenters released it on their album called Horizon in 1975. And this was their 6th studio album. Their popularity here in the United States was starting to fall off. And this album didn't do as well as the previous albums. In fact, it got to number 13 on Billboard's 200 album chart, which isn't bad, but all their other albums were in the top 10. So that's something. But in the UK, it still hit number 1, so they're still very popular in the UK. Well, they released 5 singles from that particular album, the 3rd single from that album being Solitaire. Now, what they said was that neither Karen or Richard really liked the song. Richard had known the song from Neil Sedaka and from Andy Williams, their versions, but he never really liked the song. But he thought because of the emotion in the song and going from lows to highs, it would show Karen's ability to really sing on this particular song. So he did an arrangement for her and they recorded the song. And to this day, Richard says that Karen never really liked this song either. So that's kind of interesting that they would do a song simply to portray Karen's voice, but not really like what they were doing. So here we go with the Carpenters doing their version of Solitaire.
There was a man, a lonely man, who lost his love through his indifference. A heart that cared, that went unshared until it died within his silence. And solitaire's the only game in town, and
this is another wow moment. I mean, this is just a tremendous version again of this song. I mean, I've liked every single version I've heard this week, but this is really dynamite. What I really like too is in most of these covers, when they get into the refrain, that first refrain, they get really heavy. That drum comes in, it just pounds. You get the heavy bass, you got some guitar. I mean, and then the voice just takes over. I mean, it just explodes in that refrain. And I think all of them but Neil Sedaka, well, the Sissel didn't either. The Sissel wasn't quite as heavy, but most of them get really heavy in this section. Now, they all start out with a piano, too. That was the other thing that I saw on all 5 covers, or the 4 covers in the original, is they all start out with very heavy piano. Bass guitar comes in, and then we get into other musical instruments. There was some woodwinds in here, which I had mentioned the other day. I think this song requires woodwind instruments because each one that I think we've done this week had woodwinds in there. And you've got a really great string section again. So the strings really take over this, where the Neil Sedaka version, if I remember right, I don't think there was strings in the Neil Sedaka version. I think it was pretty much straight piano, bass, guitar, drum, and maybe another keyboard, because he had 10cc backing him up on that particular song. So I think his was the only version that didn't have strings. Correct me if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments if I was wrong on that. But the string section is dynamite in here. But Karen's voice is really good. I mean, she starts out very melodic, slow, and then she gets in that refrain and she just expounds her voice. I mean, her voice is just fantastic, and it just explodes on that refrain. So let's keep on going.
While life goes on around him everywhere, he's playing solitaire. A little hope goes up in smoke. Just how it goes without saying. There was a man, a lonely man, who would command the hand he's playing. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. And by himself it's easy to pretend he'll never love again. And keep
Okay, we're going to take it back, but listen, I didn't hear that in the first time she sang the refrain, but I think they're like double tracking her voice, unless she has some other backup singers singing with her on this refrain. But I'm thinking they double tracked her voice, which sounds really cool. Like there's multiple versions of Karen singing the refrain, and I don't remember them doing that on the first refrain. So they must have added that as a special to that second refrain. So let's keep on going. I'm going to take it back so that we can listen to that again.
would command the hand he's playing. And solitaire's the only game in town, and every road that takes him down. And by
How beautiful was that? That was like excellent. That was like excellent. I really liked how they changed the instrumentation. There was a section, I think it was right before she got into the second verse, or was it the third verse, where there's and I'm guessing it was Richard Carpenter was playing an electric piano. It was not the standard acoustic piano. It was an electric piano. That sounded really cool too. I love the ending. Um, it was pretty much like most of the endings. Andy Williams had a very unique ending to his version of Solitaire. But Karen's is really good. She went out with the whole last verse, and then the orchestra or the string section finished off the song. But I just really like this. Her voice was just so pure on the song, and when she was singing the lines of the verses, you could tell that there was some real reservation in there. There was some real thought provoking things going on in her mind about something that's happening in her life with somebody that she loves. And then when she gets into that refrain, she just takes off. And like I said, in that second refrain, they were, and I think it was a double track on her voice, because it sounded like her multiple times singing with herself. I don't think those were backup singers. I think those were Karen Carpenter, because the pitch on the voice was very, very similar as she was singing, and you get those extra voices in there. I really like that. I thought that was real class too. So this is great. Awesome version of the song. And like I said, of all of the versions of Solitaire I played this week, this is the only one I'm familiar with. Okay, this is the one when I heard it by Neil Sedaka. When I played Sedaka's back album and this song came on, it was like, I know this song. Who is it? Who is it? And then I had to take a look on the internet and said, yep, the Carpenters. That's where I remember it from. And these other versions that I played this week were all new to me, and maybe they were new to you as well, but they're all incredible. And I think the Carpenters finishing up the week was just stellar. I mean, their version was the Killer 45 here in the USA of that version. And I want to just say where that ended up on the charts. Okay, because it didn't do as well as other singles by the Carpenters. Yeah, so on Billboard's Hot 100 singles chart, it was in the top 20. It got to number 17. In the UK singles chart, I'm really surprised at this. It only got to number 17 when the album Horizon went to number 1. So that one kind of blows me away. I'm surprised the single didn't get at least in the top 10 or even in the top 5 in the UK. On Billboard's Easy Listening chart, though, it did hit number 1. So they did get a number 1 on the Easy Listening chart for the song Solitaire, which they did an incredible job on. Karen Carpenter just has a super, super voice. So this was a week of various versions of Solitaire. And we ended up the week here with the Carpenters. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the Carpenters. If you did, and you want to show appreciation for the Carpenters doing Solitaire, hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated. If you have any comments about the Carpenters, the song Solitaire, put it in the comments below. That'd be really appreciated as well. Hey, I'm going to take a link to the video I just showed you. It was a fan-made video. It was the Carpenters must have been live on a TV show, and they dubbed in Solitaire. So the voicing, the mouthing of Karen didn't quite fit the lyrics, but I thought it was kind of fun because now you got to see Karen Carpenter do this song, and that's always a good thing. And Richard Carpenter was in the video as well. So I thought that was kind of nice to at least show the group and then play the song. So I'm going to take a link to this video and put it in my description below. If you want to see the video again, hear that song again without me interrupting it, pick on that link. It'll open up and enjoy. I'm also going to take a link to the channel that uploaded this video and put it in my description below also. So now if you want to check out that channel, just click on that link, go to the channel. They may have some other really cool things out there that you want to see. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, let's do it right now. You have my video open. Go below the video and hit that subscribe button. That's all you got to do, and you're in, and I'd really appreciate it. If you go over here, ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. This was awesome. I had a lot of fun this week doing this with the song Solitaire because, like I said, there's just so many cover versions of this song out there by different artists and really great artists. It was tough to pick the ones that I chose for this week, but it was fun. I thought each artist did a perfect job on their rendition of the song. So put a big smile on my face. I'm hoping to put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.